Why didn't the massive strike happen? And when and under what conditions will more workers go out on strike?
I would say specifically they're targeting plants so we don't run our strike fund out, because we have $850 million in the strike fund, and we're not the only ones out on strike. We have healthcare workers out on strike. We have other factory workers out on strike. The UAW is not just the auto industry. It is other workers. We have casino workers. We have service workers. There's a lot of people in the UAW. So we can't run out the strike fund just for us.
You know, we were all anticipating like, or it's going to be all of us, or who's going to be, right? You know, but in my opinion, if everybody went out, then the companies would still stall and just try to drain us out, because they know, well, they're all striking. We'll see how, you know, how desperate they get after a month goes by, after 2 months goes by. You know, this strategy, which I'm trusting the process, it keeps the companies on their toes, right? It keeps them guessing. And nobody knew, like, until 2 hours before the contract expired, who was going to be walking out. You know, we have another announcement coming up this Friday, and it could be another, we don't know who it's going to be, right?
I don't want to like speak for the union. I'm not a member of this union. I'm just a guy, right? I'm reporting on it. But I mean, like, I think one thing that I wanted to just underline for everyone watching, because I've been getting this question a lot myself too, and I understand where the question's coming from. You know, you feel at a moment like this, like you want to hit the bosses with like the maximum amount of force. That feels like the right thing to do, but I would just say to folks watching, you know, remember in 2019, like GM workers went on strike en masse, and they frankly like got kind of screwed. They were pushed to go out on strike without any real organizing happening at the grassroots. The leadership was not being transparent with the membership about what they were striking for, or how long it was going to be, or what to do. And we're in a very different position now than we were then. We haven't even talked about the incredible, historic, seismic reform movement that happened within the UAW that gave UAW members direct democratic control over, you know, like their union leadership, which allowed them to vote in Shawn Fain and to vote reform candidates into every seat that they challenged. But like what we are seeing now for the first time in the history of the UAW, as the great Teddy Ostro has reported, is that we had a contract campaign. We are seeing it happen in real time, where Shawn Fain and the union leadership and leadership at locals, people organizing on the ground, they are making sure that their brothers and sisters are ready. There have been practice pickets because people have seen what it looked like when the UPS workers were doing that, and they were getting all pumped up about it. They've been disseminating information. Shawn Fain has been communicating more openly through Facebook Live with the membership. So he's been getting folks ready. Now we get to the point where, you know, the union's ready. They're more informed. They're more mobilized. People have more trust behind this new administration. They have more trust in themselves, in the direction that they as a union are heading in. And so you don't want to just blow your wad like at that pivotal moment if you don't absolutely have to. Like Chris and Marcy said, you can create a lot of pain for an industry that is so tightly interconnected and has parts coming from different spots. It's like, you know, like a grand assembly line. You fuck up like 3 parts of that, you can create a lot of economic damage, pardon my French. But also, you create a situation where those who are not on strike, who are still currently protected under status quo from the previous contract, but if they do get temporarily laid off, as some people have, they can collect unemployment, so that doesn't come directly out of the strike fund. As we already said, like, this gives the ability to the union bargaining team, if they get a shitty proposal, which it sounds like they're getting, they can go back to Facebook Live and say, all right, more people come to the front, let's ramp up the pain. And we can keep doing that instead of just calling everyone out at once, because then it becomes a war of attrition over who can withstand that economic pain for longer. And if the bosses literally know how much is in the strike fund, they can calculate how long they have to wait.